What's going on, guys? My name is Chandler with the Geek Slays, and welcome back to the Scuffed As podcast. I don't remember what I wanted to talk about. I had a plan. I lost it. What the fuck? If you would have been here 3 hours ago, when I texted you, we'd be fine.
Is this your plan? To scold me? Did I give you your content?
No.
I feel like I did.
I mean, I could probably scold you, and that would probably do something, but...
Yeah, but I'm like a dumb dog. I just don't learn.
No.
You could beat me all you want.
I can't wait for you to get a job at the power plant and just never show up on time.
I probably just won't ever show up for 2 months.
No, to the power plant.
Oh, I'll always show up on time to the power plant.
Oh, so you can't show up on time for a fucking podcast, but you can show up on time for the power plant.
Well, okay, pay me $20 an hour to be here, and I'll be here 30 minutes early.
Convince people to give me, I almost said bits, this isn't Twitch, embers, and maybe I could. For 1 hour. that would be the whole, all of it.
Get them to pay you $20, and not all, that whole $20 an hour would go.
Do you? Sure.
Okay.
It could be a thing. I'd do it.
You know, how about $21 an hour? So I can have the 20 and you can keep 1.
Oh, sure.
Why is Flo?
Why can I not type?
Augmented.
Og the podcast. Mixed word. I'm bad.
Follower. Golden Striker.
Oh, that happened yesterday. It's just part of the overlay it's worked in, so.
Oh, I see.
If we gain another follower during the stream, it'll change from Golden Striker to whoever they are. I'm not a partner yet, so I can't have subscribers, so that'll never change.
There'll probably be like a kryptonite following.
Oh, Nurse Stu is here, apparently.
Nurse.
Loving the perm. I don't have a perm.
No,
this is my natural hair. I'm so pissed. Yo, what's up, Ray? God damn it. It's not a perm.
No, his head looks like a mop all the time. Don't worry.
Why do you think I put my hair in a fucking ponytail every fucking day? This is why. This shit is why. I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
You should get like dreadlocks or something.
Thought about it, actually.
Too bad you can't grow this longer.
Right? George Washington flow.
So you could like dreadlock here and then also have like a freaking...
Oh, get the braids and the beard.
Look like a true-born Viking.
Go full Viking?
Yeah.
I've thought about it. If I ever get... Straight Viking. See? Holy fuck, I just realized I have chat up on 3 different places. Whichever direction you decide to look, you'll be good. Actually, hold on, give me the TV remote. I'll put the stream up back there, too. So they can watch us and us again in the background. It would be great.
Sweet Caroline.
But if I ever gain the ability to actually grow facial hair, I probably would get dreads. Go full Viking. It'd be great. What'd you just do?
Almost threw up my mouth. I had garlic sausage before I got here, and garlic sausage mixed with coffee.
The audio sound alright? Since I'm unsure of things.
What? I'm just looking at some of the comments you've been getting in your stream.
That's nothing. Alright, cool. Good. Glad it sounds good. It means less editing for when I try to upload this onto Spotify and shit. So, since I can't remember what I actually want to talk about, let's talk about Warzone. Modern Warfare's Battle Royale.
When's it gonna come out?
I'm
tired. I've been ready for it for 4 months now.
I'm putting my money on we're gonna get a Black Ops 5 trailer before we see Warzone.
Look, that's...
I read marketing somewhere that there's gonna be a teaser for it sometime this month, and it's gonna come out at the end of May.
Black Ops or the Warzone?
The Warzone. Which would mean that the marketing campaign for Black Ops 5 would have already started.
So they're doing exactly what they were trying to not do.
Exactly what they made fun of Battlefield for doing last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they know what's going on with their own shit. Like, I honestly think the one rumor about they didn't want to release it because it was too much of a camp fest was right. And they're going to use the hype for Black Ops 5 to try to draw people in. Or to, like, have something else for people to talk about when Warzone is bad.
Yeah, well, I feel like what they're doing, though, is kind of a bad thing because, you know, it's like everybody was so hyped for it to come out. Well, now you're not hearing very many people talk about it because it's like they've been getting their hopes up, and then it doesn't come. It doesn't come. You know, I've heard so many days, well, it could come this day. Well, it could come this day. Like, the 3rd it was supposed to come.
Yeah.
Now I'm hearing the 10th. Yep. It's like...
Basically, every Tuesday from now until it actually comes out, it's going to be a rumor that it's coming out.
Yeah. But, you know, it's going to be a camp fest no matter what. Every Battle Royale, that's pretty much what most of it, except for, like, Fortnite, because you can build.
Yeah, Fortnite's different because you don't need cover.
Yeah.
You just have your own instant cover.
So, but most Battle Royales are very campy anyway. So, why is this one so much different? You know, I don't think the camping part makes much... I mean, you know, the way it is the way the foot audio is and all that stuff, you know, I don't see it being a bad thing as having more of a tactical battle royale.
Oh, I
know
do.
What I mean, a person like you, maybe.
Well,
a person like me that likes to go about things a little slower.
Well, a battle royale game isn't supposed to be super slow and tactical. At least none of them that have come out have been, and I don't think it's going to be like if a Fortnite match lasts 25 minutes, it feels like it took forever. Yeah. Unless it's lasting that long because you're constantly in fights and, you know, doing stuff. That's not how it goes. You're just running forever.
But yeah, but
this tactical game, you're going to get into one fight a game. Maybe.
No, because
it's going to be the most boring version of a battle royale.
It's a huge map, but there's also 200 people. And
right,
it's not like they just die right away. They can come back. 200
people on the Blackout map would take a while, too.
Well, most of the times you're probably going to die right away because you have to fight 400 people right at the bat. You know, because, you know, there's still going to be those good places that people are going to figure out that, oh, we want to go there because there's better tier loot. So, if you want to go in and have, you know, a sweaty freaking fight, go to those, you know, higher tier loot places.
Right, but that's not my point. The beginning of the game in any battle royale is going to be, there's going to be fights, there's going to be fun stuff, but the end, or not the end, the middle, the entire middle section of a game truly is the 5 minutes at the start where you're getting loot and winning your first couple of fights to win an area, and then the last 5 minutes where you're killing the last team. That entire 20 or 30 minute section in the middle, there's going to be nothing happening because everybody's hiding in a corner, hiding in a bush, hiding by a tree. You don't want to take your shot until the perfect opportunity. It's going to be... I'm worried that it's going to be the most boring experience ever.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like they're including, like, a bunch of different, like, you know, things to do instead of just be the last one alive, you know? So, I think that's how they're trying to combat that. They're just throwing stuff in there that, you know, so there's things that you can go do and challenges you can go do, kind of like Fortnite. You know, you land, you try to survive, then you kind of go and try and do your challenges and survive at the same time.
See, that's not all Battle Royale games, though. The middle is slow in all of them, but it's not slow because people are camping. It's slow because in a game like Fortnite, there's 8 locations where people want to drop.
Yeah.
So, by the time people win all those locations, that by the mid-game time, there's 25 people alive on this big map, but everybody's trying to find each other. They're harvesting mats and looking for people to fight, because that's how people want to play these games. Mm-hmm. In games like PUBG, you're taking shots all the time at any movement you see because you want to have fights. I'm worried that this one's not going to be like that. Yeah. How many times in Blackout did you get killed by a kid sitting in a corner of a building while you were looting, or you're in a different fight, you're trying to get some sort of high ground, and then bap, kid sitting in the corner with a Bowie knife.
Yeah. But, I mean, we won't know until it actually comes out as to how it could turn out to be, better than... That might, Warzone could make Modern Warfare.
Or break
it.
See, Modern Warfare needs a lot of help to not be broken, though. Like, it's not in a good place, and it never has been. Yeah. At what point was this game great? Like, it sucked when it launched. It didn't... None of the updates they did, the Season 1 update did nothing. Like, sure, they added some shit, but who cares? Bro, I've never seen... Yes, you have.
Hi, Spencer.
We've literally been friends forever. I'm not saying it's not fun, but it's not good. It's not a good Call of Duty game.
There's just a lot of problems with it that shouldn't exist.
Modern Warfare 2 is my favorite example of a game that was broken as fuck, but it being broken is what made it fun. The things that were broken about it were fun. This game, everything's broken. My favorite mode ever is just hardcore. I can't stand core. Needing 7 bullets to drop somebody makes no sense. And I hate it.
Well,
in hardcore in this game, every gun needs at least 2 or 3 shots.
Unless you're using a sniper, or if you're using...
But you can't use a sniper because people get their shots off too quick.
Yeah, unless you use your, the hell's that gun called? The one I always like to use.
Oh, the FAL?
Yeah, the FAL.
Yeah. See, but I don't want to use just one gun. I want to grind for camos. I want to...
Yeah. See, that's his big deal. He likes to grind and get all
because
the camos.
I want a reason to be playing it.
Yeah.
Play a repetitive game like that, there needs to be a reason. And even if I got every gun gold and I had... What is it this year? It's not Dark Matter, it's Damascus.
Damascus, yeah.
Even if I had Damascus, I'm not going to use the same guns every game. That's boring. It gets to be boring.
Yeah.
But having... It's balanced technically because every gun sucks, but that's not fun.
Yeah.
If I wanted to get 4 hit markers, I'd go fucking play core.
Yeah, hardcore has always been, you might, at extreme long range with an SMG, have to hit somebody twice.
Or, if you hit somebody in the toe, you might have to hit them twice.
Yeah, but if I'm hitting somebody in the head in hardcore, that should kill you.
What gun was I using? Oh, the PP Bison. I got 6 hit markers to the head in hardcore. On Rust. So it's not a huge map. I wasn't shooting over extreme distance. So, yeah, ew. The PP Bison's a gross gun. All the SMGs are gross except for the MP5 and the...
Yeah. But you still... What annoys me... What annoys me, though, is I just would wish, that a game would come out and actually present a weapon, the way it actually would be in real life. All these SMGs, they're still shooting 45 caliber bullets, 40 caliber bullets. Those will tear a hole in you. It's not going to take 400... And then to take, say you take it's kind of like Blackout, basically. You take that 50 caliber,
Don't get me started with the fucking
gun.
The LMG, yeah.
The LMG. And then take, the Paladin. A Paladin can one-hit you, but you have to hit somebody 4 or 5 times with... That's a 50 caliber bullet. That should tear somebody in half. Yeah. Who can't... Why is it such a big deal to make a game that... Oh, this is a 50 caliber bullet. If it hits somebody, it's going to blow a hole in them this big.
Why is it such a big deal to make guns make sense?
Yeah. It's
See,
not that hard to go out and
in
figure out
Modern
what guns
Warfare,
would do to what,
shotguns are insanely overpowered. Like, no matter what range it is, it tears you in half. That's not right. But then there's games like Fortnite or older Call of Duty games where a shotgun, I can put it in your mouth and you're going to take 2 or 3 shots.
Yeah.
Anybody remember Kurt Cobain? Because I do. I don't think it took 2 or 3 shots. I'm just going to throw that one out there. Go play Tarkov. I want to, but I have no PC friends to play it with. Use the crossbow. The crossbow is absolute dog shit.
I don't like the aiming mechanism with the crossbow. Like, the sights on it are extremely odd for, plus the, like, I'll aim, somebody will be like, I'll aim right at him and shoot, and because I'm moving side to side or something, somehow that arrow just goes like this in mid-flight. That's not how crossbows work. It still should shoot straight. It's odd. So you have to sit still in order to shoot straight. It's weird. It just does not feel it like crossbows in Black Ops when they played Sticks and Stones and stuff like that.
That's the
better.
Biggest problem in the entirety of Modern Warfare is it feels like it should be a good game. It gives you, when you're playing it, the feeling of an older Call of Duty, COD 4 Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. It gives off that vibe, but then it doesn't play like it. It doesn't work like a good Call of Duty.
It just...
There's always going to be shitty campers. That's how every game works. I get it. But this is the most aggressive camping game Call of Duty's ever made. The ability to lean or mount onto things and lean around corners so only the tip of your head's poking out. All you're doing is helping campers, which should be the problem you were trying to fix, not what you were trying to,
help out.
Yeah.
And cause more of.
Right. It's the problem. It is not the...
It's not what solution. They were trying to do. They were trying to make this game more tactical, more,
That's
more
what
realistic.
They did. They said the same thing about Black Ops 4. How'd that work out?
Yeah.
Call of Duty isn't supposed to be realistic.
Yeah.
It's really not. If you want to play a realistic game, go play Siege. I like tacos. Who doesn't like tacos?
I'm gonna go get tacos here in a little bit.
Oh yeah, not that little bit. Well, I'm not gonna be open till 4, and
I know.
Who gets dinner at 4?
I'm probably like 6 or something like that. Damn, if you want to ride with me and go,
now I want tacos.
You can come with me.
Fucking asshole.
You got your own money, but because I'm not, and Dad is, so
he'd buy me a taco.
He probably.
Your dad likes me.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Probably
he likes everybody as long as you don't piss him off. I
feel like I've pissed him off at least once.
Oh yeah, but everybody pisses him off. But eventually, after a while, he forgets about it.
Well, there's a difference. It's did you murder his cow, or were you just being loud? There's a difference.
Yeah, sometimes you can catch him on off days where he gets annoyed easy. And...
Well, who doesn't have off days where they get annoyed easy?
Yeah, but he's also an old man, so he's got that old man cranky. Senile cranky, I should say. Like Walter off of Jeff Dunham kind of guy.
Fucking Walter.
Honey, does this thong make my ass look fat? No, your fat ass makes your fat ass look fat.
It's fair.
In this situation, the thong is the victim. I love Walter.
What do you use to freshen up the bedroom? Febreze? Yo, Tommy Boy 3000, thanks for the follow. I love my little follow pop up. Cool. The comic book style. It fits with my name. The comic book style thing.
Yeah.
I really think I need to figure out a different overlay for these streams though. It just seems like there's so much going on. I don't know if I love it.
It reminds me of like 007 shit. Like,
right? Kind of thought that too. Did you see they're making another James Bond movie with, fuck's his name? Daniel Craig?
Yeah, I seen something like that. It's like,
He is now the longest running Bond ever.
Yeah.
I don't think I've watched a single one of his James Bond movies either.
Any new movies coming out? Looks interesting.
Black Widow's coming out at the end of this year. It got delayed. Shocker. Every movie gets delayed now. That's how it works. It's going to be bad. It's a James Bond movie.
Isn't Vin Diesel going to be a new, like, hero kind of guy?
Oh, yeah. What fucking movie is that?
I can't. It's like Blood something. Or, I can't remember.
Now I got to look it up.
Yeah, because that looks freaking dope, actually. I don't know why, but I like Vin Diesel.
Bloodshot.
Bloodshot, yeah.
Why have I never... Yeah, oh, yeah. Bloodshot. What is Bloodshot? Why have I never heard of that?
It looks pretty cool. Like, honestly,
it's gonna come out this month. We might have to go see it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna get Destiny and...
Who the fuck is Bloodshot?
Have you not seen the trailer to it?
No, I saw it like once. But, like, I mean, who is Bloodshot, the character? It's like one comic book character that I don't know.
Oh.
So is it Marvel or DC? It's gotta be DC. Right?
I don't know.
Oh, it's not Marvel or DC. Oh.
Yeah, because I don't remember seeing anything about,
Weird.
But
could be good.
Yeah, it could end up being pretty good. It looked like the
Valiant
trailer looked pretty good.
Alright. Weird.
Vin Diesel just makes, he's kind of like Dwayne Johnson.
He makes some good movies, but they're all watchable.
Yeah.
It's just some of them
some
are
are
worth another
so
watch.
much, higher quality.
Like the OG Fast and the Furious movie was amazing.
Yeah.
Now I just watch them because nostalgia. But none of them are ever going to be as good as the first one. That's not how it works.
Oh, no. Well, and you keep having people that leave and they have to replace them, and then it's just not
or
the
people
same.
that die. All right,
yeah, or people who die. Yeah.
Rest in pepperoni, Paul Walker. I'm running dangerously low on coffee. Bro, his Riddick's... Yep, uh-huh. His Riddick movies are bomb.
I do like
What's
Riddick's.
rude? You said the hair. You've seen my hair before, Spencer. Literally all of my old YouTube videos have my hair like this. All of my OG streams had my hair like this. It was literally like what?
Oh, I think he was talking about Paul Walker.
Oh. The Rest in Pepperoni? Could have been.
But yeah, I enjoy the Riddick movies.
Yeah.
They're pretty OP. Like,
OP, they're overpowered movies?
They're overpowered movies.
Oh, sure.
Yes, they are. Because Riddick is pretty much a badass in those movies. Aren't they coming out with a new Riddick, too?
Probably.
And it's not called Riddick. It's like... I thought I seen something where they were trying to work on it.
Oh, you were talking about Paul Walker. Alright, that's fair.
That Dizzy guy.
What's up, Dizzy? Look at all these people that I already follow. Or that already follow me. I follow them too, but... And it's not Riddick. Well, Bloodshot's not Riddick, but are they making another Riddick movie?
They're making... They're like, he's working on 2 different movies right now, it sounds like.
Bloodshot's
going to be the one that's going to come out first, and then it sounds like they're trying to make some kind of a new... It's like following up on a Riddick storyline, basically, and then... But I don't think they've actually announced if it's going to become a thing.
Well, yeah, first. What is this one? Fast 9?
Fast and the Furious do that.
Yeah. Furia? I don't know. But I have a feeling the new Fast and the Furious movie is going to be absolute dog shit. Oh, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Furia. Ew.
Like,
never heard of it.
I think it's kind of about time to, call it good on the Fast and the Furiouses.
Problem is, so many people still watch them.
Well, yeah. They're gonna watch them, but it's not because it's the best movie ever. It's because they don't want to be left out. They don't want to be the one guy. Oh, did you see this new Fast? You know, because I know you've seen all the rest of them. Have you seen the new one? Well, no, I just decided to quit because they need to quit making them. You know,
yeah, nobody's gonna do that. I'm still gonna go see it in theaters. It's not gonna be, you know, an Avengers Endgame or a Star Wars where I go see it 10 times.
Yeah. Well, it's worth watching once.
Sure. But, like, some of those movies are just... It was less about me... my kids' will be watching them because it's cash. Yeah, that's gonna be superhero movies, Star Wars. Star Wars is already fucked. They won't stop Fast and the Furious until it loses money. And it won't for a while because people still want to watch them. I don't think it's about wanting to watch them. I think it's all...
keeping up.
I think it's all a nostalgia thing.
Could be wrong, though. I mean, like, especially for... It could be a lot of those viewers are younger, and they just enjoy a high...
Don't know great movies, and it's like fast cars and
yeah.
action, and they like it. Remember what Fast and the Furious used to be? When it was a good movie? Yeah, the first one. Second one was okay. Tokyo Drift was meh. And then they're all just like, meh. They're terrible movies. Like, they make no sense. They should have stopped it too, probably. But, yes, now it's like a hip-hop music video. For sure. It is. That's the appeal of it, though. That's why so many people will continue to go watch them all the time. How the fuck did we go from Modern Warfare to Fast and the Furious?
Who cares? Good point. We're here to talk. That's our job.
It's lost all of its realism. I mean, they weren't super real to begin with, but yeah, they have lost all of their realism. Like, the new trailer. I can't remember what I was going to say. Something happened. Tokyo Drift is the second best. It has sweet cars and honestly the most believable story. It's fine. But Too Fast, Too Furious was just I don't know. Tokyo Drift was just weird. It's a Fast and the Furious movie, but it's not Fast and the Furious. Like,
it was kind of like a branch off of...
Right. It didn't have Paul Walker. It didn't have Vin Diesel. It didn't have any of the characters you actually gave a fuck about seeing.
Yeah, it was kind of like, let's just kind of throw this out there so maybe we can create a storyline that we could, like, you know, further...
It's just like Hobbs and Shaw, even though that was a good movie. It's not a Fast and the Furious movie.
No, but I really liked seeing, you know... I like the fact that they brought Dwayne Johnson's real family into the... Like, I didn't realize that he was, you know... What do they call it? Samoan? Samoan? Yeah. I didn't realize that's what he was. I didn't realize he came from Hawaii and...
Yeah, but Fast and the Furious
how many brothers he had and, like, how big they all are. Like, every single one of them.
I love that
his mother's just this little tiny thing.
But they were just trying to create a universe for the movies. Yeah, but Fast and the Furious doesn't deserve a universe the way Marvel or DC or Star Wars or these other things do. Because nobody actually gives that much of a shit. They just want to see stupid people racing fast cars. That's it. That's the entire marketing strategy for these shows. What? It's my coffee pot.
It felt left out, so it had to make some noise.
And, like, it doesn't matter who... Or, not who, but, like... I lost where I was... My whole train of thought. I feel like I'm high, but I'm not really high. But, yeah, the Fast and the Furious franchise doesn't deserve a universe. Fuck, at this point, Star Wars doesn't. Yeah, so all Disney's doing is fucking it up. I'm sorry, I'm annoyed at the fact that Kathleen Kennedy, who runs Star Wars, is just gonna say that, like, you know...
Baby Yoda
No, Baby Yoda doesn't disagree. Baby Yoda knows Star Wars is bad right now. The last 3 major movies have been terrible. Rogue One and Solo were fine. Like, they were good movies, but not great. The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens, and The Rise of Skywalker fucking sucked.
Well, it's yeah, I know that, somebody else is in charge of Star Wars now, but that doesn't mean you could just go off on your own.
Well,
and
it
just
does.
leave everything else.
They just
in the
decided that
dust.
they were going to. But as Kathleen Kennedy, who is in charge of overlooking all of Star Wars, just like how Kevin Feige is in charge of all of Marvel, she is the one who said, well, Star Wars is a lot harder than Marvel. Marvel had, thousands of books and comic books written that you can steal stories from. Star Wars had more than what Marvel ever has. Still does, but you just put it away and stopped caring about all the good stories. Lucas finished it years ago. I don't think the prequels were supposed to be in it at the end, but Fast and the Furious will make money as long as they want because there's no movies to challenge it. Name another movie from the last 3 years that has cars as the focal point. There really isn't, and that's what brings us car guys back. True. Need for Speed.
Yeah.
There was a Need for Speed movie? I didn't know that. Apparently it wasn't good.
Yeah.
If nobody ever talks about it, it wasn't good.
If it was a great movie, then we would, hear a lot about it, but you don't really hear much about Need. Like, I forgot Need for Speed even existed until you just said it, so...
It's awful. See, so, again, it's not competition at that point. Hold that in the same
place.
It's
just something else for somebody to watch, basically.
But why watch it if it's garbage? It was okay, but not something I'll watch again. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's good that they distracted me with Fast and Furious. I was about to go on a fucking screaming Star Wars rant.
Yeah, don't get him started on Star Wars.
Well, you can. Just be prepared to sit here for 3 hours and listen to me yell about it. Because The Last Jedi...
I've heard it
The Last Jedi was a fucking awful movie. Like, maybe it was good if you took it out of the Star Wars universe and just read it as its own story. But there was already a story of what happened to Luke Skywalker. There's already a story about all of this. Don't make the coolest character ever become useless. Just because, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. There's so much cool shit you could have done. So many cool stories you could have expanded on. So much lore, so much stuff. And instead you just made the shittiest movie possible. It's a 3-hour-long movie that takes place over the course of literally an hour. Like, everything's happening at once. It takes an hour. Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like was how they did Luke. But that movie doesn't work if you don't fuck up Luke's character. So, if you look at it objectively as a movie, it's fine. But if you look at it as a Star Wars movie, it's absolute dog shit. It is the worst Star Wars movie ever made. And there's no argument with that.
Yeah, it would have been fine if they would have changed a few things, like certain times in the movie where they would have just changed something to still show that, like, maybe Luke was the chosen one,
Well, Luke was never the chosen one, but Luke did something.
Yeah.
All it's saying is since, like...
They just basically made him a little bitch. Basically.
Yeah, for 20 years, he's just went and hid away. What do you want me to do? Go stare down the entire First Order with a laser sword? Well, that is exactly what you would do.
Yeah.
If you were actually Luke Skywalker. It's like they hired somebody to pretend to be Luke Skywalker. Like, you're not really Luke Skywalker. You just kind of look like him. You're a little fatter now. You kind of sound like him, but not really. And you just hate that you're alive. That was how they did that role. Instead of having literally the hero of the galaxy go off and hide. Or, it doesn't make sense. Well, he's hiding because he was going to kill his nephew. Or nearly did. Because that's how Kylo turned evil. Is Luke sensed that he was like, conflicted and could turn to the dark side. So Luke ignited his lightsaber and was going to kill him and then changed his mind. That's not how Luke would have done it. Luke was getting pulled to the dark side at one point. So he knows what it's like to go through that. He could have just literally spoken some words. But instead, I'm going to kill him because that's rational thought.
That's the thing about Star Wars. Persuasion is a big deal.
Yeah.
But the way Disney presents it, it's just like Star Wars just does the most drastic thing at all the time. They're just so simple.
Was that Billy Joe? Things. It's all marketing. They have to get rid of the old, scrap every bit of money. No, they don't. Do you know how much money they would have made if they would have made the sequel trilogy, the newest trilogy, just based on all the old books that had, you know, Han and Leia's 3 kids, Jason, Jaina, and Anakin Solo. And then Luke having his wife Mara Jade and his son Ben Skywalker. Those movies about them, based off all the books that have already been written, would have made more than any Avengers movie ever would. There are more Star Wars fans than there are superhero fans. The problem is, most of us just stopped giving a fuck. Because the movies suck now. The prequels, while they weren't great, were still watchable movies. They're worth taking the time to watch. I don't know if I'll ever rewatch The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi. Might rewatch Rise of Skywalker, but that's just because I only saw it in theaters one time, which is insane for me. I go see movies like this a bunch of times because I want to get all the information, but it just pissed me off because it made no sense.
Yeah, these movies make sense for people who are young and don't understand.
No, they don't even that.
If they Disney just go out there, they made that movie so that you could be a kid that's never seen Star Wars. Go out there and watch a Star Wars movie, and it still makes sense. Yeah. It makes sense to them, but for people who are older and understand and have followed the Star Wars trilogy for as long as they can remember, this movie sucks. So the younger viewers sometimes enjoy it, but the older viewers are just being left in the dust.
The problem isn't that. The problem is Disney looked at all the old stories and just basically said, fuck it. And just made their own story. Nothing that happened in any of the other movies, Anakin being the chosen one, Darth Vader, the whole redemption arc, the whole point of Star Wars, they just went, fuck it. Doesn't matter.
But they got lazy is what they did.
No, they just thought that they needed their own, they needed to twist the story to be Disney, and they didn't. Because they fucking made it terrible.
It still seems like they made it like they were lazy about it, though. Instead of going through and trying to learn about Star Wars, they just made their own thing because, well, if we make it our own thing, then, you know, we don't have to learn.
It's honestly like everyone they hired to work on Star Wars didn't actually give a fuck about Star Wars. Never cared, never watched it, never talked about it, never read any books. It's like they just said, here's this kind of universe, here's some of the races, just make a story. Oh, make sure to feature Han Solo, Leia, and Luke Skywalker because it's important. But it's like they didn't know who any of those people were. Or what the point of their characters were. So they just kind of did stuff.
Yeah. And it seems like they could have easily brought somebody in that actually knew something about Star Wars. And just asked them, okay, is our storyline looking pretty good? Well, this is what we have. What do you think?
The problem was J.J. Abrams knew Star Wars. In both his Force Awakens movie and The Rise of Skywalker, because he made those two and the one in between he didn't make. They're like, we'll make money. Star Wars is in the time. That's true. You're right. But JJ did know, and he did care about making a good Star Wars movie. But every story he wanted to tell, Disney rejected. Apparently, The Rise of Skywalker, it was all leaks, none of it's truly confirmed. But apparently, The Rise of Skywalker got rewritten 4 times.
Holy shit.
So, I want to see Star Wars The Adventures of Jar Jar Binks. I think I would shoot myself. But I want to see the original cut of that movie. What did JJ want to do? I wish JJ could have directed all 3 films. Rian Johnson, sure, have a Star Wars film, but don't let it be main trilogy. Don't let him fuck up the Skywalker saga more than it already is, because people hated the prequels. Now everybody loves the prequels just because they've realized, oh, it could have been so much worse, and now it is. Like, yeah, there was a lot of dumb sitting around talking politics. Better than anything that happens in The Last Jedi. Thing that pisses me off more, don't have a screen so I can show it on stream. But the fight scene in The Last Jedi, where Kylo and Rey are fighting these guards, is the worst choreographed fight scene I've ever seen. And it pisses me off. Because Star Wars, the original trilogy was different because they were trying to figure out lightsabers, and so the movement was slow and whatever. But that kind of makes sense. Darth Vader at that point is going to be 60 years old. Luke's in the movie we saw, he's a 16-year-old kid who just picked up a lightsaber and figured out what it was. Like, I get that, stuff's going to be kind of slow. But during the prequels, that is, the prime of the Jedi. And you see in the Darth Maul Obi-Wan fight, that was beautifully choreographed. Like, you don't look at that and think, that's not how that would go.
Right.
You look at that and think, that's a fucking badass fight scene. The Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Dooku fight scene. Beautiful. The Anakin versus Obi-Wan fight scene is awesome. It was a 22-minute long fight scene that was shot in one take.
Oh yeah,
they
choreographed 22 minutes worth of fighting is
and not
ridiculous.
To fuck it up,
yeah.
and make it so good. And then you can't even get the editing right to where a guy who is holding two daggers isn't still holding him the next time he moves. He had him, and then he went to do something and it's gone. Like, how do you miss that? Or Rey kicks one guy, 4 of them fly back. Spoko Gameplay, thanks for the 1,000 sparks, and Billy Joe, thanks for the apple pie and the 10,000 sparks. Sorry. But, it makes no sense. What? They didn't just throw them out there and say, do stuff. All of it is planned, and that's the problem. They made these fight scenes to be terrible. They made lightsabers stop acting like lightsabers. How are you getting all flesh wounds? Was I the only one that died laughing when the stormtrooper yelled, "Traitor"? No. Everyone died laughing, because it's dumb. These movies are dumb. But, I'm sorry, there's scenes where, in that fight scene specifically, not a single limb was lost.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Lightsabers cut through everything. God, that was such a bad moment. It was. But they're, hitting their armor, and it's not even cutting all the way through their armor, but they're dying. No sense. Or the fight scenes in The Force Awakens. Kylo Ren hits Finn with a lightsaber straight up the back. He's fine 2 days later. No, he would be literally cut in half. It's a Disney movie, what do I expect? Did you not watch the Avengers movies? Thor shoves a fucking axe through Thanos' chest. It shows blood. In the next movie, he literally cuts off Thanos' head, and Thanos didn't do anything. He was just sitting there. Don't say it's a Disney movie when Disney movies don't all act super kid-friendly. There's a rating system for a reason. Disney is still going to make R-rated Deadpool movies. Because you cannot... Fox already tried to make a Deadpool movie at PG-13.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
It didn't work. They didn't release it as its own movie. They made Deadpool 2, but a PG-13 version. Nobody liked it. Episode 3 is The Goat, Darth Maul, and pod racing. That's not Episode 3, that's Episode 1. Episode 3 is Revenge of the Sith with Anakin and Obi-Wan. I definitely clicked 1. Sure, but Episode 1 is not the goat. It's really not. One of the 2 best fight scenes in a Star Wars movie, I'll give it that. Pod racing was cool, but the other 3 hours of that movie, garbage. Pretty sure R-rated is becoming more common. Logan, Birds of Prey. Right. It's becoming more common, but Star Wars movies have always been PG-13, and limbs come off, people die. So it's not an issue of a rating system. It's Disney doesn't understand how lightsabers work.
Yeah.
Or how the Force works. You have to be trained to do shit. It took Luke literally training with Yoda months to be able to move his lightsaber. but Rey can just do shit. And when I say that, people yell at me because you just don't like it because there's a strong female lead in Star Wars. We had Leia and Padme, and we all loved them. So it's not about that it's a female. It's about there's no reason she's good at this shit. She just shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, I get being able to do, like, little stuff, but not everything. Everything shouldn't just come to you because plot armor. Like, we saw Luke fail over and over at trying to do things. We saw Anakin and Obi-Wan fail at trying to do things. And those are actually super powerful beings. Like, Anakin was the chosen one and he still couldn't do shit. Like, there has never been and never will be anyone more powerful than Anakin, and he still couldn't just do whatever he wanted.
Yeah. I do enjoy The Mandalorian, though.
Shockingly, they didn't fuck up that movie.
Yeah.
And that show. And I'm gonna say it right now. It's because Jon Favreau is in charge. He got to be in charge of Iron Man, and he's gonna fix Star Wars, and I love it. Heard there was a rumor they want Rian Johnson to direct an episode of The Mandalorian, and if he does, I'm probably not gonna watch that episode. Because you know what he'll do? The Mandalorian will age 60 years and go live on his own.
Right.
Stop doing cool stuff. Because he doesn't understand Star Wars! Which is dumb, because Star Wars is not a hard thing to get. Like, it takes a while to go through some stuff. Hollywood is trying hard to have equality, and that was really dumb. How Rey was just good with a saber. See, the saber thing I don't hate.
Yeah, because anybody could just pick up a saber.
Well, no, she was really good with it. But she used a staff, which, yes, is different, but same basic principles. Like, you learn certain stuff. I get that she was good with a lightsaber. Being able to defeat Kylo Ren, though, who's been training with a lightsaber for 20 years, don't like that.
Yeah, that's like me right now, just going into the NFL and just destroying everybody as a running back or something like that.
Or something really stupid. She was a scavenger and a fighter already, right. But she wasn't a fully trained Jedi. But he was, like, super hurt, too. But that's the whole thing about using the dark side of the Force. Anger, pain, suffering makes you more powerful. Darth Vader's suit, constantly, it was built incorrectly by Palpatine, so he would always be in pain. With a bunch of little needles and stuff poking into his skin everywhere. It was restrictive. It was super hot because of the materials it was made out of. He used the wrong type of alloys for all of his prosthetics and stuff so that it would hurt him. Because the pain and the suffering would make you stronger in the dark side and make you just stronger overall. And Disney's just like, nope, that's not how it works. Disney just took, here's what Star Wars is. Alright, fuck that, we're doing this. And it's not okay. It's almost like they're trying to Marvel-ify Star Wars, and that's not the way to go about that. But, like, that's the reason in that scene he's punching the wound in his chest. Is because it's making him stronger. Everything's political as fuck in movies these days. True. I'm sorry, it's Star Wars. I don't think it fucking matters who is who and what and what.
Yeah, literally look at all the races that they have.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter.
If anything, I think it's more, better for the race, because you got, these days, you got 50 different genders. So what's the difference between Star Wars? I mean, you got so many different races and so many different characters. Who cares? Right? It's a fucking movie. It's a movie.
Care more about if the movie is good and if it makes sense and that type of thing. Don't don't pay so much attention to, well, is there a strong female lead? Who cares? Really? Like, like controversial gay kisses. I'm like, why is this being mentioned? That's fair. Well, I love that everybody bitched because there's never a gay representation in Star Wars. Then there was, and there was a kiss during a scene between two chicks. And then it was, well, why wasn't one of the main characters gay? Because why the fuck do they need to be?
Yeah, there's no reason.
Does it matter? Whether Rey is gay or not, does that change the outcome of the movie? No. It doesn't change anything. You know what does? Terrible writing. Terrible plot armor to get people to be overpowered as fuck. Not understanding how lightsabers work makes for a terrible movie. Make a good movie and then just don't give a fuck about who is what.
Yeah, because you think about it, why are you trying to make those few happy compared to the overall group? Like, why wouldn't you want your movie to be great for most of everyone and then worry about the person that's just...
I don't even care.
There's 12 people over here that are pissed off because this person ain't gay.
Like, and I think most people just don't give a fuck. It's all about making a good movie. See, like, during Avengers Endgame, people were apparently pissed off because the first gay character in Marvel was just some random dude, not a hero. It's like, you can't complain about not having these things in Mr. Hatman Xbox, thanks for the follow. You can't complain about not having representation for your group in a thing, and then when you get it, complain that it wasn't good enough.
I just come to the conclusion that people should stop worrying.
Don't make me copy.
People should stop worrying about these people that get offended by everything. Like, literally,
I'll take that.
They want to complain. That's their big deal. They want to complain just because they can. And no matter what you do, they're not going to be happy with it. So you might as well just go and do your own thing. The big one?
Farthest one, yep. You take offense to which part? I've said a lot of things that could be offensive. So, let's have a rational...
All of it?
Oh, sure. Well, then I really don't give a fuck. Like, people are going to be offended over everything I say. Don't go back and watch my old streams or watch any of my YouTube videos. I make jokes that aren't just knock-knock jokes, so they're offensive to somebody. But that's the point.
Yeah, see,
how many times have you cried laughing at a joke that wasn't kind of fucked up?
Like, I wish we could take most of everybody and go back about 60 years. And then they'll realize how good they have it today. Everything back then was so, you know...
Yeah.
They didn't put up with crap about everybody being offended, you know?
Right.
And everything got along fine. It's just nowadays, everybody just likes to complain about everything and get offended by everything just because they can. And because they don't get their way, that's why they complain.
Right.
And nowadays, it's starting to make a difference. If you complain enough, now people are like, oh, well, we got to change our ways. We got to change, you know.
I'm not changing shit.
This person has to change to make this person feel good.
No.
Why? What? Isn't that part of the First Amendment? The freedom of speech? The freedom...
Right.
You know?
Like Steve Carell said, today's society couldn't handle an Office reboot. He's not wrong. They couldn't. A Friends reboot wouldn't be handled either.
Literally, there's movies that went so long.
Hand me that.
So long. Nobody gave a shit about the movies. And then all of a sudden...
Thank you, sir.
All of a sudden, just today, all of a sudden they just go, oh, well, that's offensive. Right. We need to get rid of that movie. That's been around for 30 years. But now it's offensive.
I get it, man. It's stupid that people try to make you tiptoe around their feelings. Right? Or tiptoe around the feelings of, like... So, I was making a joke one time somewhere. And it wasn't a fucked up joke, but it was about, you know, a group of people. Somebody who's not part of that group of people was telling me how offensive that joke was. Why are you offended for somebody? we need to stop being offended for other people. Like, if the joke offends you because, you identify with it, let's talk about that. Let's see why you shouldn't be offended because you're fucking retarded. No, oh, I shouldn't use that word. It's not PC. That matters. I think instead of making movies politically correct, we should make movies to piss everyone off. That's what my YouTube videos and these streams are for. Just to not give a fuck.
Yeah. I just wish everybody would go back to,
streaming great content. Thanks, Mr. Hatman.
Taking things as a joke instead of taking everything literal.
Right.
I understand there's things these days that you cannot take as a joke.
Right.
Because back in the day, you used to be able to joke about it, and it was actually a joke. Sometimes people are serious.
And I get
understand
those certain things. But I don't think... Oh, well, you can never make a Jew joke. Why? You can never make a joke about a certain group of people. Why? I get that there's certain things you shouldn't say, certain lines you shouldn't cross. I think everybody knows that. But I don't think it should always be about catering to trying to be PC, trying to not offend anyone.
The problem is,
because if you were trying not to offend anyone, you couldn't make jokes. Comedy dies.
Everybody's using offensiveness to their advantage. They're using it as an advantage because they're getting something out of it. They're gaining something out of it. Right. And we need to start making things to where people aren't gaining things out of it. Like if people these days make a remark, oh, well, you're racist, or that offends me, all just because you don't agree with it. People are allowed to have their own opinions. That's what, that's where good ideas come from, because people have different opinions. If everybody had the same opinions, nothing would change. We'd still be riding wagons and horses and, carving shit into stone.
I love that.
Because conflicts create ideas.
See, and I love the idea of what the fuck is going on with my brain?
You're having trouble.
I just go into a sentence knowing exactly what I'm going to talk about and it's just gone.
It's like the line when you're hooked up at the hospital.
Right. I also like how now people are offended by the General Lee. It's ridiculous. Just move on and stop being offended. People make videos and shows trashing white people all the time, and I fucking love it. It's hilarious. It's true. I'm sorry, I've never made a Jew joke that offended somebody who's Jewish. It offends somebody who's not Jewish.
Right.
Who's trying to protect them. No, they don't care. Don't just be like, yeah, remember the Holocaust? That was fucking hilarious. No, make a thought out joke. Like, what are the jokes people want you to tell nowadays? Knock-knock jokes? It's not funny. When's the last time a knock-knock joke truly made you laugh?
Right. Yeah.
Or, I guess it's still okay to make blonde jokes, which, said before, and I'm saying again, lowest form of comedy. Like, that's the weakest form of comedy. You just say dumb shit.
Don't get me wrong, there's some good blonde jokes out there.
Not really.
But
they're not that good.
They're not like short jokes. They're like long thought out jokes about a blonde. And it's not necessarily just a blonde.
Doesn't even have to be a blonde.
In my mind,
the joke is funny because
they just call it a blonde joke, but it could be anybody that has a blonde moment. Everybody's got a little bit of blonde. Even me, Chandler.
I used to be blonde when I was a child.
So did I.
You remember those days?
I stayed outside
so
long
that
my hair
hair
bleached. But yeah, even the most intelligent people have blonde moments. And I understand that, oh, well, I'm blonde. Well, they call it a blonde moment. That doesn't necessarily... there's a lot of blonde people out there that are extremely intelligent. That doesn't mean I'm talking about them. It's just a reference.
Yo, Billy Joe, thanks for the 50 embers. Keep up the good content. Keep it good content, boys.
Tatanka.
Jesus Christ.
Buffalo.
See you around, Billy. Have a good one. But... yeah, dude, I don't get it. We live in the weirdest time possible.
People just can't make up their mind. Well, and we live in the most hypocritical
We're
time.
also, I think we're arguing about the wrong stuff on all of these different levels. Like, is racism still a thing? Yes, it'll always be. Whether it's purely defined as racism or just one person thinking, I'm better than everybody else.
Yeah.
Because if you... Go ahead.
Well, what annoys me is there's a lot of people out there that are like, white people are racists. No,
Right.
no.
You
quit,
owned
quit
slaves.
living
Never
like you're
once...
in the 1800s. You are never a slave,
Right.
and I am never owned a slave.
Right.
So quit calling me a racist just because I'm white.
Yeah.
It doesn't
like,
make...
And I hate when you bring up facts and people...
Oh, yeah, and then...
Like, you know
they use racism to stomp an argument. Like, that is not an racism is not an argument. That's not a way to win an argument.
Where does racism and freedom of speech start? I think... So... That's a good question. That's a difficult question. That's a real question. Because, you know, according to the First Amendment, anybody can say whatever they want. Technically.
Yeah.
But should you? It's one of those... You asked if you could, you never asked if you should moments.
Yeah.
Like... Because anybody can say whatever they want, but...
There's still...
I think...
You can still draw a line, but the problem is this is what the line looks like.
Yeah, the line's everywhere. I make a joke.
We need to make up our minds, basically.
You know, I think the biggest thing to look at is whether the thing that somebody said was they were joking about it, or it's not racist if it's backed by fact. Facts are facts. Factual statements, numbers specifically, do not change based on, well, this person's white, this person's black, this person's green. That's not how fact works. Now, are there ways that a person could say something that is technically a fact, but say it in a way that does diminish a race or, like, twist your words so it is racist? Yes. But the pure numbers of anything aren't racist. They're facts.
And I feel like racism, racism should not be based off of verbal. It's more of an action.
Right.
So if like
how do you treat people?
If you have some white guys riding a bus with some black people and they get off the bus and the white guys start beating up the black person just because they're black, I feel that's racism.
Right.
But if they say something verbal, you know, so what?
It depends on the moment.
Yes. I
really
do understand
It also depends on what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like
threatening stuff is
hold on.
racist, if you ask me.
Like my black friend Jawan says, if black people want racism to end, stop being offended by everything.
Exactly, yeah.
And a hate crime, that's true. Would be a hate crime.
Yeah.
But like, if you want racism to end, it's just like feminism. If you want to be equal, you cannot want to be
better. Like,
right.
At this point, they're not fighting for, you know,
equal. You're fighting
equality. They're fighting to become better than everybody else.
Right.
They're equal. I don't understand why there's still a movement. If you go out there to the jobs, there are more women.
It's actually less
ever
now.
But
less equal in the fact of, you know, if people would stop being so damn butthurt, shit would be so different. You're right.
The thing is that everybody hates Trump because he's anti-feminism. No, he's not. If you look at it, there's 72,000 more female jobs, more employed females than there was under Obama.
Right.
Now, how does that make any sense? If he was all for equality.
So,
makes no sense. You're fighting for all the wrong things.
Right. You're fighting to be better
against all the wrong people.
Right? Like, if I don't know why we're switching from racism to feminism, but I'm gonna. If politics now is not Dems versus Republicans, it's good versus bad. Not really. It's truly Dems versus Republicans. if I'm a Democrat and he's a Republican, let's say, if I say, that I want universal health care, he's going to oppose it now, because that's just how it works. And in 2 months, when he says it's a good idea, I'm going to oppose it.
Yeah,
because I don't want their side to be right.
See, that's the thing. Like, Democrats and Republicans are supposed to, have opposing ideas.
Right.
But they're also still supposed to come to a middle. That's the point of having a yin and yang, is to come to a happy medium. But at this point, it's no longer, okay, we're working, to come towards a conclusion. We're working to make ourselves look good and them look bad, instead of whatever's best for the people. And that's the thing. It's no longer the people that are in control. It's more, okay, well, who's gonna, gain more power from the government? The government is in control now.
Right.
The people are not. They aren't having a voice in things anymore, and it's bad. That's the whole reason that we have the amendments and to control.
But going back to the feminism thing, we vote for who we want to tell us what to do, and not the other way around. It's true. But going back to the feminism thing, because this was a point that I wanted to get across, was in all 50 states in the U.S., if you were married and you had a kid and you get a divorce, the child is going to the mother, barring extreme circumstances. Always. Yeah. I think it's like 72% of the states or something. Guys, what's up, Dizzy? In 72% of the states, or some number like that, it's just click somewhere. Okay. When you knock the thing over.
Oh, I see.
In 72% of the states, it's considered 50-50. When there's a divorce, unless you signed a prenup, everything is supposed to be divided. It starts at you give her 50%. And then you work your way up. You can never do less. Yeah. That's dumb. That's not equal. It's not. I can 100% speak on this. 2 kids, 2 baby mamas, 2 divorces.
Yeah, see...
Then speak, my good friend.
Tell me how that's fair. Yeah, a woman always ends up with the child most of the time.
Look at the whole Johnny Depp situation.
And then the woman just sits there and uses the child as a tool to get money from the father. See, that's what pisses... There's a lot of women out there that go get pregnant just so they can use that child as a source of income. Not as because they love that child, but because they're getting money off of them. And 9 times out of 10, half of that money doesn't go towards the child.
So have you heard the Johnny Depp stuff? He was accused of abusing Amber Heard, his wife. So automatically, he lost his role as Jack Sparrow. Just because he got accused. The family courts are so damn outdated, and if you got a dick, you get screwed over. True. That's why you gotta start identifying as a woman. Makes life easier.
Yeah. And what's dumb is a woman can just go out, meet this guy, get his name, and then just go, oh, this guy raped me.
Yeah.
And the court will be like, oh, it was the woman. But now, a guy goes in and goes, hey, this woman drugged me, and then she raped me. The court just laughs at their face.
Right?
It's crap.
It's fucked.
If you want equality, how is that equality?
Actually, the numbers say that about, I think, 57% of domestic violence, actual domestic violence cases, are the women being violent towards the men.
Yes, yeah, and then the police show up.
Oh shit!
For domestic violence. And
who cares? We must stop the Russians.
The what?
Who gives a fuck about the Russians? Let's figure our own shit out first. But that's not cool. So what happened with that, Dizzy? I want to know. What?
Family courts are so goddamn outdated.
We cannot let them get to the moon before us. Oh, sure.
I was raped by a chick in college. Right. But I find it kind of funny though,
Right.
Because
nothing happened. Because you are a man. You can't be raped. Oh, well, you never filed a report, so I guess that makes sense.
But that's what I was about to talk about. So,
because if you try to talk
you see the difference between a man and a woman is, say, a 12-year-old guy.
Who would believe me, right? Because people look at it as though, well, you liked it anyways. But no. I'm sorry. Consent is consent either way. And the bigger problem is, if I was raped by a chick, well, you're a 300-pound dude. You're bigger than her. Why didn't you stop her? Well, I was drugged. So? You liked it anyways. No? She got me in her dorm, got me blackout drunk, and yep. And that'll happen. And it doesn't matter that whether you wanted to or not, it's, well, you're a guy. You could have left.
Yeah.
You're bigger and stronger.